So here we are at the Mt Birdwood parking lot. He's had 8 hours of sleep. I've had 2. And we're about to go on a 6-hour hike one way, that's 20 kilometres, and spend the night in grizzly country. So, fun times.
Should be good.
So we're up here at Mt Birdwood. That's Mt Birdwood there. So we're on the trail. We've got probably another, what, 18k?
Yeah, so far it's been flat, just an old logging road here, but we're going to be headed up pretty quick.
Yeah, the steep stuff will start. So we've got another, what, 5 hours of this, but it's pretty beautiful. Look at this spectacular sky. We've got lenticular clouds, so onwards and upwards.
It's going to be good.
So look at this devastation. We're right in the path of the avalanche.
Holy.
Can you imagine what this sounded like when it was happening?
Just carnage, eh?
Absolute carnage. So we just made it across the snow patch and the avalanche, so now we're just whacking up this really steep slope. I would say, what would you say, Brent? We're about a third of the way in?
To the ridge? No, probably more than half, I think.
You reckon more than half? Oh, that's pretty good.
But we're at the hard bit now.
Yeah. So what we're aiming for is a place called Smutwood Peak. And the peak itself isn't that epic, but what it does afford is a fantastic view of this mountain here, which we think is Birdwood.
It's hard to tell from here.
Yeah, and so that's where the shot is. So hopefully that's what we'll get. We'll get what we came for. Maybe we'll get some clouds, fingers crossed. Till then we've got some severe elevation gains. I reckon we're about 1 hour from the summit of Smutwood Peak, and the goal is getting a shot of this peak during the sunset as the light hits it from the side. So we've got quite a bit of elevation, I would say, what, 100 metres maybe, and I won't be there. So hopefully there'll be more clouds and we'll get some epic stuff. So that's it, we summited, we made it. So I don't know if you can see this on the GoPro, but way off in the distance there, you can actually see a wildfire beginning, and that's the huge plume of smoke that's going up, and it's been blown east. And you can see that's its passage all the way east. So luckily we're out of the path of that where we're shooting, but yeah, that's quite scary. So here we are up on the summit. We've got our beef jerky, but do you know what this moment needs, Brent?
Trail lube.
Trail lube.
We don't want warm beer up here, so we've decided on canned red wine, which is probably equally bad, but
I'll let you do the honours.
up here, anything's good, I think. Take it.
That's not terrible, is it?
In a can? Pleasantly surprised.
I thought it was going to be like balsamic vinegar. So what I want to talk about here is the polarizer blob. And if you've never encountered this problem before, or if you have and you just didn't know how to deal with it, whenever you shoot with a wide angle lens and you've got a polarizer on, if you look in the blue part of the sky here as I rotate the polarizer, you're going to see this dark patch move across the sky. And that's going to really annoy you in post when you start going through your images and you look at it and you think, oh, how did I miss that? So the first step here is to always just remember that that's going to be a problem if you've got a wide angle lens. And so how I get around that is I'll take multiple frames, I'll take multiple versions of the same picture. So for example, I've rotated the polarizer now so that it's pretty much doing nothing in the sky, and it's out of the frame. If you look at the sky there, that blue patch of sky, it doesn't have the blob on it. So I can take that shot and it'll be fine. The other thing you can do is turn it just a little bit, and now you see it's just starting to appear in the right of the frame there. Take that shot, and then you'll take another shot after you've moved it ever so slightly over there, almost kind of like doing a pano, so you're going to overlap the blob. So take that shot, and then I rotate it a little bit more, it's over towards the left, take that shot, and then all the way out, take that shot. And if you have all of those, the one where you have no polarizer blob at all and it's polarizing the bottom half of the frame, and then if you want that dark contrast in the sky, which is really going to help with clouds but will look awful on a blue sky, then try the whole right to left or left to right blob thing so that it fills the whole sky. And then it's quite easy to edit that in Photoshop and put them all together so it's an even tone across the sky. So that's how I deal with the polarizer blob when I'm shooting with a wide angle lens and I've got a polarizer on. So what I love about this shot is the way that the light is just hitting these rocks in the foreground, which matches the light that you can see over on the peaks there. So I've composed it so that I can fit that in. I've got the lake in the center of the scene, and I've lined up the peak there perfectly with the grid lines that I've got in my rule of thirds grid. And that's a top tip, is if you want to really make certain peaks and line up in your frame, whichever is the most important, you're probably going to get a much stronger composition if you line that up perfectly with one of the verticals. It doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be off to one of the left or the right, but whichever one it is, if you use the rule of thirds grid system with a diagonal, that's going to really help you to compose your landscapes, especially with mountain scenes like these. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, GoPro, stop recording. Stop recording! GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.
It's your English accent, brother.
Yeah, bollocks. Okay, let's try it one more time.
GoPro, stop recording.